If he doesn't take another step on that tender right hamstring in these Western Conference Finals, Chris Paul did what he came here to do. That won't be enough for him, of course. No Hall of Fame level competitor is ever satisfied with just reaching the precipice of a dream. They want it all. And you know Chris Paul's every intention is to get to the summit. You don't wait, as long as he has, fight through as many barriers as he has throughout his career, and get to the final seconds of a defining game like Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals, and not feel the burn when you have to watch the outcome from the bench. Paul's right hamstring didn't allow him to take in the final, frantic 22.4 seconds of the Houston Rockets' 98-94 win over the Golden State Warriors Thursday night, Friday, PHL time, at Toyota Center. He tweaked it trying to drive to the basket on Quinn Cook with the Rockets clinging to a 95-94 lead. Another injury for the man who has seen so many of his playoff dreams vanish in a haze of different injuries over the course of his career. It has to sting. He went from shimmying at Stephen Curry after knocking down a wild three-pointer to being forced to watch the end unfold without him on the court to finish what he'd started. But the Rockets are here, up 3-2 in this series, and 4 quarters away from dethroning the defending 3-time Western Conference champion Warriors. Paul's availability for Saturday's, Sunday, PHL time, Game 6 remained a mystery late into the night. He received treatment after the game and did not speak to the media. He'll be evaluated tomorrow, said Rockets coach Mike D'Antoni, who for the second straight game in this series relied on just a 7-man rotation. But obviously you saw him limp off, and he's a tough guy. So they'll do whatever they can do. If he's there, great, good for him. If he isn't, we have enough guys, it's time for somebody else to step up. We've got plenty of guys over there that will have some fresh legs, that's for sure. So we'll be all right. We've just got to continue doing what we are doing, and we'll find our way. The Rockets found their way with Paul lighting the path of another heavyweight fight. Rockets fans left the building on an emotional high thanks to Paul, who scored 18 of his 20 points after halftime, after a brutal 1-for-7 shooting performance in the first half that made you wonder if he came into this game injured already. Once again he willed these Rockets past adversity, the same way he did in the closeout game of the conference semi-final against Utah, when he piled up 20 of his playoff career-high 41 points down the stretch of a Game 5 masterpiece. Well, his spirits aren't great, D'Antoni said. He wanted to be out there, and for sure he's worried and all that. That's normal. And like I said, we'll see Friday how it goes. But what he did was remarkable. When we were kind of teetering, he made 2 or 3 threes. That's just his heart. He made something out of nothing. His heart, his will to win. I don't know how many times everybody's got to see it in this league. He's one of the best players that have played the game. Just his will alone, and what it means to basketball, I don't know. If you can't root for him, I think you've got some problems. The Warriors are loaded with problems then. Because they've surely seen enough of Paul in the deciding moments of the last 2 games in this series. Paul led the charge in Game 4 at Oracle Arena and did it again in the third quarter of Game 5, keeping the Rockets right with the Warriors during the period they've owned by draining 3 of his 4 attempts from beyond the three-point line during an unconscious third-quarter stretch. It was well-deserved, Curry said, a showman tipping his cap to a fellow showman. It was a tough shot. If you can shimmy on somebody else, you've got to be alright getting shimmied on. So I'll keep shimmying, and maybe he will too, so we'll see what happens. It was more than just the shimmying, though. Time after time Paul got the switch he wanted, backed up and went at bigger Warriors defenders, and got whatever he wanted. "Well, Chris is a Hall of Fame player, this is what they do," said Warriors coach Steve Kerr. "They put James Harden and Chris in pick and roll every single time. So they're going to challenge you. We did a great job. They combined to shoot 11 for 40. He hit 2 35-foot threes that were just unbelievable. You've got to live with that. The Rockets have lived off of it all season. They knew it would the moment Paul was acquired in that blockbuster trade with the Clippers that set this Rockets Western Conference takeover attempt in motion. The aesthetics be damned. Keep your analytics. Sometimes the biggest moments require the unthinkable, unbelievable shots Kerr spoke of. That's the most difficult shots you can imagine, Harden said of Paul's three-point heroics and his entire arsenal of shot clock beating artistry. He's been doing it all year, and he just manages to get those shots off and make big plays. He was built for it. If only his body was built for the pounding that comes with the work he has to do, often as the smallest man on the floor. Paul's body always seems to betray him at the very worst times. Dragging up the long list of bumps, bruises and season-derailing instances won't do any good now. It won't do the Rockets any good, with or without him in Game 6, or even a Game 7, back here Monday, Tuesday, PHL time, if needed. Paul's right leg will be on the minds of each and every one of his teammates as they prepare for the next step on this wild ride that began with a humbling Game 1 defeat that temporarily cost them home court advantage they've since snatched back. Can they win 3 straight and finish this? Is it even a realistic possibility without Paul available? There is concern, obviously, Rockets veteran Trevor Ariza said. I hope he's healthy. I hope he gets better, and if not, somebody else has to step up and do what we've been doing all year, step in and try and help this team win.